Hey guys, Lemon02, and we are playing in the Chainsaw Massacre event. This hand is very keepable. We are on the draw though, which stinks a bit. Um, we'll see what our opponent's on. Probably something blue, but I don't know that. So we have Evanston's Pilgrim. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. And your go at it, man. And do you have burn for this thing? Maybe. Searing Blaze or Searing Blow would be the worst. If it does not get hit, well, it's not gonna get hit with either of those two spells. You get with a Magma Jet, that'd probably be the worst. But even so, like, I don't feel horrible about that. That's probably all right. So we're gonna play this thing out because this thing is mono huge. And if we get Blood Mooned, well, we get Blood Mooned. But we've at least got a 4/4. Maybe Rhino is better. Hmm. I have absolutely no clue what our opponent is on because they haven't done anything aggressive here. I'm half tempted to cast both the elves. You know what? No, that can't be right. I am half tempted to cast the elves and the Finks here, just in case we get like mooned. But he would have done that last turn, so maybe he has like maybe he has a price of progress. I feel like it's gonna take something special to get through this start. He playing big red. Okay, a chaos warp, giving us a land. Interesting card to have in his deck. Okay, ancient tomb, so big red, like spread red basically. You have like a cloth or something. Okay, well you kill my critter. I think we just go aggro here, guys. And hope not to hit removal up to another creature. That's a really good one to hit, obviously, especially post confluence. Does Wildfire commune with lava? What does commune with lava do? Exile the top. Okay, X cards your library. Ugin. I don't really care about any of this, do I? All right, Wildfire's going bye bye. You're taking 7 here. You're dead next turn. That may have been his action. I kind of want to see those cards though before we go to board. What did he exile? Okay, Grim Monolith and a snow-covered mountain. Okay, so he's big red, spread red basically. Against this, what do we want? Probably just to be faster. Duress seems good though. The Planeswalkers seem like they're going to be very good. Golgari Charm is interesting. I didn't see a lot of critters, so I'm going to take this out. Didn't really see any critters at all. Let's go with this. I think Duress is going to be better than Arc Trail. Maybe Reclamation Sage actually should be in. Yeah, let's consider that. Reclamation Sage over what? Probably Aven Mind Sensor. Aven Mind Sensor doesn't seem like it's going to find much. He doesn't have fetch lands, you know. So I think this is good. Yeah, I do like having the Rex Sage in there over containment. He's got Grim Monoliths and like Mox Opals and whatnot. Alright, this hand is not good. I think we're going to have to mull this one. The fixing is just not there. So we'll mull. And we'll keep this. That's a great card to have on top. I think we Inquisition turn 1 just to like avoid getting mised by a really big. I mean, obviously we forego being able to Vindicate, but I think we can Vindicate his turn 3 play. Why is that showing Sword of Light and Shadow? So we need, I think, a Bayou here. Yeah, Bayou does the trick. Okay, Thought Vessel, Mirror Battlesphere, Dust Bowl, Scrying Sheets, Commune with Lava. Alright, well, Thought Vessel is going bye-bye. And we have Vindicate for the land, for the Dust Bowl. Solid draw there. I'm going to save the fetch land. If he wants to blow up my lands, that's a-okay with me. I just want to have the flexibility to play around it. You gonna scry? Yeah, it's tapping for that is weird. That should work. Is the card bugged? That card has been bugged before. The one time I've ever really used it extensively is in Commander. I think it's kind of too slow for this. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, you have to tap like really weird for it. I don't think he drew a card. Or maybe he did. No, he did not. Okay, he just used his mana for nothing. He could go Dust Bowl on us here, but like I said, I mean, I don't really see that doing much here. I may just Vindicate him to slow him down some. Let's see what he does. Okay, he doesn't kill my Elspeth at least. I think I'm just gonna blow up one of his lands here. That can't be right. We're going to discard the Vindicate. I don't really want to. I would kind of like to use it to gain a little bit more time against whatever big stuff his deck is doing. Alright, well, he's not going to Dust Bowl us anyways. Nor does he really have the time for that. And now we can get Scrubland, or I'd rather get something different than Scrubland. I think Overgrown Tomb is probably better here. He definitely runs Blood Moon in this deck. I'm going to take the 2. Yep. Oop, not that one. The problem with his deck is I think it's a little too gimmicky. And now, like, if he Blood Moons us, no big. And go. Well, discard a card. You can scry if you'd like, and then you'll discard the land card you scried with, or scried into. he has a bolt or something for this thing, I think I'm fine with that. I'm just going to give the Tassier flying, because I don't think he can kill that with 2 mana at instant speed. And this is an even 10 damage. Dead next turn. Yuck. Yeah, the walkers are definitely doing their job here. It's going to take something pretty significant here. Could be a wildfire, but like, what's wildfire really do? It just blows up a bunch of lands. Okay, commune with lava, exiling what? It's going to be substantial. That may be a concession. I don't think that card's good. All right, well, we got him. 4-color blood did what it does and won that game pretty handily. So we'll go ahead and report a result. That was kind of a prosaic 2-0. I just don't think the decks were evenly paired. No, I mean, if he had a Blood Moon, like, turn 2 off of, like, his busted artifact mana, then we could have had, a significant game on our hands. But it's not even, like, assured that I can't come through that. I kind of want to see what these two are up to. They always kind of play interesting decks, I tend to think. I think the other matches are probably aggressive matches. Okay, so we have a Tezzeret and Sensei's on what essentially appears to be some sort of 4 to 5 color, possibly 5 color mid-range deck, possibly similar to our own. It doesn't have blue yet though, so maybe he is 4 color, just 4 color blood. I don't know. And what do you get? Probably Shackles would be my guess. Let it die to the Dryad Arbor. Or you could have a Bolt. I don't think you get Ensnaring Bridge. Crucible's banned in this format, so that would be another option. Oblivion Stone, another option, but I think it's probably Shackles. Because you can pick up a 2-drop at this point, which means you can pick up the Dryad Arbor or the birds. The Arbor's, well, I don't know. I could see either being right. Probably Shackles, though. Yeah, let's see if we're right. No, Proteus Staff. Okay, so he wants to go for his Emrakul. So this deck is interesting. It's essentially a Blue Moon style deck. A lot of counter magic, a little bit of burn. And the way it wins is it essentially has the Brawl commander style combo in it, where it uses. The only problem is he's playing this against Sensei, and Sensei is a known artifact and enchantment hater. So he probably is going to kill this thing. I mean, I think he knows the jig's up. He's going to attack with the Dryad Arbor, because I don't think he let Tezzeret stay in play. And then I would not be shocked if he played, I guess his options are a little more limited. It's Reclamation Sage, Kasali Pride Mage here that I can think of. I mean, Utabi Orangutan, but that's not a playable. That's not a card I see commonly played. It probably is playable, but okay. Well, the turn passed. It could be a blowout he's got waiting for him, like just to. I don't really know if he can blow this combo out though, because I mean, once he activates, unless he attacks like really greedy. I guess he can't really pass priority. This is not sorcery speed; it's any speed, right? Activate this ability only anytime you cast a sorcery. Alright, so if he attacks, he could blow him out. So he should not attack. And actually, the funny thing is, it's only anytime sorcery. So actually, if he kills it in response, but wait, priority never goes back. But if he kills it in response, then it doesn't work. Yeah, if he blows it up in response, it's quite the blowout there. Looks like he's got it. Lightning Helix. Sweet. Didn't back it up. Nope, got him to spend his whole turn. Alright, yep, that's one of the problems with that card. You can get blown out like that, and that card does nothing on its own. Math Guy is probably on Red Deck Wins. Or at least he was last week. Let's see what he's on now. ML Berlin is on 5-color Planeswalker Control. And that's probably death for him unless he has a counter spell. No, looks like he does. See, he's got something. Comeuppance. Oh, Void Shatter. Cool. Well, Liliana's about to max out. There's a Searing Spear. Do you have a Comeuppance as well? Nope. Math Guy just wins the matchup because ML's deck cannot really beat Reach. Even if he missed, I think he would still favor there. Or even if like ML had another answer for that, or if Math Guy had missed with it. So we have White Weenie, of course, on White Weenie. Well, these players have not changed it up much. Playing the same thing. I guess we're playing a deck we played before too, though. Who's winning here? Kind of impossible to tell, huh? I don't care for Aether Vial. I really don't. Actually, no. Who's winning here? Goldman's probably winning this, especially with Johnny. I mean, yeah, because next turn he's dead, right? If he doesn't have cheap removal. Okay, puts the sword on that thing. Just attacks with that. I think you attack with the Soltari Priest too. That does have Shadow. It can't block. So. But the issue becomes, alright, he may have a 3-drop in hand. I was thinking, like, the issue becomes the things will not heal him in response to the damage. It'll stack afterwards. So, obviously the Dryad Militant cannot block. So next turn, yeah, here's the issue though. So like if he attacks, he has to re-equip on the Sphinx, and he can block the Militant, but takes 2 off the factory. Well, actually, no, wait. So if the factory attacks, that's only double strike and flying. That doesn't quite do it. Yeah, one more counter on the Bygone, I think, would be good games. Is it going at a Johnny or a face? If it goes at face, then you can just block the two ones favorably. The Sotari has to attack. Like, it just has to happen. Maybe he doesn't like how we equipped his sword. Alright, so we've got Dryad Arbor. This card's pretty sweet. I always thought this was cool. It gives them other creatures haste. It is a flasher. It flashes in too, which is pretty sweet. Alright, we got a Garrick. We have a counter for this. Nope, I suppose not. You gotta take the hit, I think, man, unless your card is like stunning inside your hand. Yeah, I think you have to take that hit. I think you block one of the 2 ones and just take 8 down to 4. But that only leaves the Sphinx back to block. So if he double strikes this, it's 8 plus 1 +2. So it's not quite there, but if he gets any buff, what's the last card in his hand, I wonder? Banisher Priest? That was a good one. I feel like maybe that should have been cast last turn. I don't know what was cast last turn though, because we kind of jumped in the middle of this. I'm gonna re-equip. He does have the Aether Vial up at 3. And he could have drawn a 3. Could have been sacking 1. I don't know. It seems a little far-fetched, but Leonin Relic Warder. Wow, it's a good pickup there. Grabs the sword. Yup. I think given that, you just plus that up, attack in, take half his life, and lead back enough blockers. Yeah, that's enough blockers. Unless he Aether Vials in something really significant or really sizable. Okay, Ruination happened. Rough beats there. Getting back likely a land of some sort, I would assume. A plateau. So it looks like he's pretty solidly in. Looks like he's very solidly right now in Naya coloration, which I have not had a lot of success with personally, but I'm sure it's a fine deck. I don't know. I tend to like to have green and black in my 4X decks, you know. Any green-based deck, I just think, wants to have strong removal options. Just gives you flexibility or permission. So blue and black. But maybe that's just play style for me. Like I don't like just jamming, you know, great beaters. I like to be able to interact, disrupt. Well, I can do a healthy dose of damage next turn. What is going on here? Put him to 1. Well, if we can buff the Soltari, that could be game. Actually, isn't that game? I think he over-attacked. So the Spirit needed to stay back because now if he attacks with all, he has 2/2/1s. Yeah, that was a misplay on Goldenlid's part. It's unfortunate to lose that way, but I think he will. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's 4 damage even. Unless he has like a 1-mana removal. Yeah, not good. Yeah, the Spirit was a mistake, obviously. That's not going to do anything for you unless you're playing Shining Shoal. I feel like I mention that every time I record a video. Oh, Shining Shoal saves him. Yeah, I don't feel like Rob stole that game. That was a significant misplay by Goldenman. You gotta check your numbers. Yeah, the Spirit attack was dicey. All right, well the Proteus staff was killed somehow. Maybe it was transmuted actually. That'd be my guess. I don't see an artifact removal spell, so it was probably transmuted or reshaped. Yeah, transmuted. Okay, into a Batterskull. I don't think that's an unstoppable threat for Sensei. Certainly not a bad one. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff he plays. You know, this is Sensei's bread and butter, like artifact removal all around, and that should be lethal next turn with the Garrick, unless he can remove all of the creatures, um, or combo out. Yeah, going all in on Batterskull seemed kind of bad. That's not going to be enough. Personal Tutor, probably not enough either. Synthetic Destiny, or yeah, he's just dead next turn. So this is he's at 11, so this is 6. Yeah, it's more than enough. Yeah, you're dead, buddy. Well, actually, could you do it now? No, you can't. Doesn't have enough mana. One more mana, you could do it now, but like that's still dead. I think it's yeah, lightning bolt to face. Unless he has stifle. No, stifle doesn't do it because the bolt at this point. Stifle would have done it though before bolt. That should be the game right there. Garrick doing what he does. I do not like that Garrick art. It's ugly. Let's see how these two are getting along. This thing did +1/+1 till end of turn. Interesting. Nothing on 2. Interesting keep. Wonder what he's got. Both these players have kept odd hands, in my opinion, just due to the fact they're both playing White Weenie and they played nothing on their turn 1 or 2. So, more powerful hands. I think Armageddon comes out in the mirror. I don't think you want that card. So I doubt both players are holding that. Now, if you don't cast something on turn 3, that's bad. All right, well, that's a good 3-drop. It's a very strong 3-drop. Mana Tide would be a beating. I don't know if either player runs it, but I don't personally run it. I don't care for it. Okay, well, Still Moon blocks the Brahmas all day, but it is a slower clock. He probably has a sword in his hand too. That'd be my guess. Is there's like a sword in Goldenman's hand. Just my feeling because he hasn't played a lot of low drops, which makes me think that he probably has like essentially a pseudo 5-drop in the way of a sword. 4th land. You don't want to. You can attack here. You might as well. It's free because he can't block the 1/1. He can block the 1, but he takes 3 then, and you can't block him, so you might as well pressure him. That's actually a fair trade in my opinion. Now you got to play something here. Like I don't know how you keep a hand that doesn't play something on 1, 2, and 4. Okay, Mirror Crusader, which actually gets around the Still Moon Cavalier quite well. Silver Knight can actually block fairly well, but like some of these cards are so junky to me. Honor the Pure, not a bad one. Mana Tithe, nice, nice. Someone does play Mana Tithe in this matchup. That's probably what he had. That's probably why he did not have a 1-drop, 2-drop. Maybe he has a 2-drop in hand, and he just didn't want to play it on turn 2. He wanted to leave that up to get the first play. Could be. A sword here would be strong. That's kind of what I'm feeling he has. No, a Journey to Nowhere, getting the Silver Knight, allowing him to attack in. So Goldenman is pretty favored right now, I think. If he has a 3-drop to back this up, then that's extremely strong. So he had removal and counterspell. Mana Tithe is not one I normally play around. Probably stopping the Still Moon Cavalier, turning that off. Therefore, I can't pump or get first strike. It can't block the Mirror Crusader. It also means that it'll trade fruitlessly with the Phyrexian Revoker. This draw has worked out very well for Goldenman. I assume this is a game 3, And Goldenland's going to take this one down. Let's see what Shug and Sensei are up to. All right, land go. I don't think you can just block the cat soldier. I think I don't know. I guess he does. That's what he wants to do. I don't care for that. I guess maybe you have to. I don't know what his follow-up is, though. Like, does he have Wrath of God in the deck? Like, that's not going to be good enough. Armageddon? That's not good here. All right, another Holy Nimbus. It's a blocker, at least. And Spectral Procession. Okay, well, you can activate the Windburst Kites now. Flanking is actually very relevant here. If you have like Sword of Light and Shadow, that's just game over. On the spot. Mentor of the Meek. Don't care for that card either. Plus you gotta pay 1. Do you have a 1-drop that you can pay 1 for? Really no attacks there. It's gonna get tossed. Oh my goodness, guys. Knight of the Holy Nimbus has flanking, so when it blocks this thing, I'm pretty sure, unless it's just on the offense, I'm pretty sure flanking is blocking and defense. Yuck. Ugh. Yeah, flanking is actually only attack. My bad. My bad on that. Flanking only works on the attack. Ranger of Eos, it's a good pickup. We'll get Mother of Runes and Figure of Destiny. Okay, we got a Kasali Pride Mage. And land out of Shug. This seems like an easy pickup to me. Yep, the exact 2 we expected. Mother of Runes coming down. That should wreak some havoc. Sword of Light and Shadow just wins the game here. Still. Mardu, a War Reaper. Probably pay the 1. I guess Mentor in this kind of like this weird mirror is actually probably fine. It's a good card advantage, and it's just a lot of investment. Once it's on the board, it's great though. I just feel like for 3 mana, you'd be doing better. Yeah, that's the card we were talking about. It's a big game right there. That's a very big game. Yep, Goldenland wins. Okay, I guess it was a game 2. So Goldenland should have won that match, is what I kind of feel. Well, an uncounterable. It does not have hexproof though, so it can be burned out. You can lightning bolt that thing. I've definitely played that card board. Actually, I think in the actual CSM, I think the only time I've actually ever played it in tournament play was against a zombies deck, where it was actually really good. You did very well against essentially a mono black splash white deck. Well, if you have Jace, it's not good here. Could have the Little Chandra. Little Chandra be good. You can blow up the GSS. Yep, Little Chandra. Yep, blow up the Stag. Would have been even more badass if he made mana and Searing Blazed it, but alright, Eternal Witness getting back, I would assume GSS. Could be land too. Land? Yeah, okay, land. He's land short. But action heavy. is what that kind of tells me. Well, I could see mana being made here. I could also just see exile the top card, see what you can find. I don't think Chandra's plus ability is going to tend to find many cards you can play. I think this deck has a lot of counter magic. The exile on top, so it doesn't have a big card to cast in hand. And what do you find? If you have land in your hand, you want to play it first. Spell Snare? Yeah, not really one you want to draw at this point. I don't think. Alright, Blinkmoth Nexus can trade very well with the Eternal Witness, leaving 3 mana remaining to counter whatever Sensei plays. That's strong for Shug. He may not even do that, though. I mean, I don't know what's more valuable to him, the Blinkmoth or the Chandra. If he has, like, the combo in hand, it could be the Blinkmoth. But Chandra's just mana and cards. Like, I feel like Chandra's pretty good. And her ultimate is just game over in most games, where you're not, like, really dead. Yeah, it's sort of Light and Shadow Call was pretty sweet, because, like, I was just like, if he ever has this thing, the game's just over. Okay, well, Bramaz is very good in that situation. Unless someone draws Caracas, then it's just game over. Yeah, I think we saw what we expected. Is he blocked, and now he's going to counter whatever Sensei plays this turn. Sensei should probably try to play 2 spells here. I think he's probably thinking the same thing we are, that his opponent likely has counter magic. Could be like a Thrun or something, though, where it's just not counterable. Alright, thinks. Yeah, you want to counter that thing. Oi! Well, you block the 1/1 at a minimum. Oi! I guess. Ugh. Ugh. It's not good. Hmm. Yeah, I think the stud is actually. Oh, that is so horrible. That's game over right there, guys. I mean, he missed mana. Okay, so Sensei did keep 2 spells up. At this point, Shug could have Wrath, a Wrath effect, a red Wrath, so it'd be burn of some sort, burn based. I think Shug was expecting this deck to do a lot better against the 4-colored decks, or 4 and 3 colors. I don't think it per se always will. He runs it back to basics in Blood Moon package. We tested a little bit with him last night, and he managed to mise his back to basics like twice. Blood Moon actually wouldn't even been a big deal, but he got it within the first 10 cards in two parts or 2 games of a match, and it was game over. The other game he didn't have it, we just won very easily with the deck we're actually on now. Okay, well, this game has also come to a conclusion. I think if I'm Golden, I probably just concede here. Okay, well, it's a start. That's where it starts. Do you have removal for... Okay, suture a priest. Well, that's pretty embarrassing to get now. And that's not really what you want to play into a Casale Pride Mage. Could just be Acidic Slime. Oh, an Avacyn. That's a beating. Card's big. Yeah, not looking good for Sugar. Gonna tap out. Or he's not. Okay, he's gonna get Reclamation Sage and blow up the Proteus staff. Negates it though. Well, do you have a way to do this? If you do, you're pretty close to death's door here. So, what is your draw? Yep, this game still looks notably over. Because next turn it just gets flying double strike. Well, it already has double strike. I don't even know. I guess you just give it flying. Maybe you plus it. Puts the suture in front of it. Yeah, this game looks over. Yeah, Rob just curved out this game. So Golden Lynn should have won this match, in my opinion. If he had not attacked with the Spirit in the game one, he would have won that game, or unless Rob had mised removal, or a 3-drop creature had been in hand on his 1-card hand the turn prior, and he played it before the turn passed off of the Aether Vial. So, and it had to have been a 3-drop. Would it have been a 3-drop? That's kind of a silly thing to do. I don't know why he just win the game. I guess flying. Okay, fair, fair, fair. You can attack with that thing safely, and he can double block and then give indestructible, and it does nothing. It just kills one of his creatures as opposed to two. But having, what is that, 21 2/2s seems pretty good. Okay, Thalia is not going to do it here. It would take a card like Cataclysm, followed up by that, to win this game. That's all she wrote this game, guys. I don't think we need to watch this one anymore. Let's go see how Shug is faring. I think that game may be coming to a conclusion, too. Nope, Sensei wins the match and reveals his hand in the process. Nope, Sensei disconned. I don't know if that means he's done for the evening or if that means he just needed a refresh moto. Alrighty, well, these are all complete, guys. I'm going to go on a quick pause until our next round starts. Alright, guys, we're back, and we pulled Sensei as our round 2 opponent, which is cool because, let's see if he's on. I don't know if he did. He disconned before. My guess is he came back, though. Alright, he's back on. He just disconned to reaffirm his connectivity. And actually, before the game starts, let's delete some things. Alrighty. Well, we're just waiting for him to jump in the game. The funny thing is, Booze and Sugar Daddy are actually on very similar decks in a lot of ways because some of Show's main deck cards, and I assume what are likely main deck cards in Booze's deck, are going to kind of miss the mark, specifically the Moon effects. I don't know that Booze Mongoose is running Moon effects, but I assume it's very likely. Caracas. That must be just main deck answer to legend cards. Interesting. I guess it's fine. Maybe try to throw him off because Shug may not know what he's on yet. All right, Mindstone. Cool. Shug's going to counter it, which I think is an okay play. I tend to let mana go and then just counter threats. He may have a Censor, though. Or Prohibit. No, Condescend. That makes sense. So you can scry if he's trying to hit land or something like that. If you have Condescend and you're on a land light draw, you'll almost Condescend anything. Let's see what he does with the cards, though. Bottom top. Okay, yeah, I think he's looking for land. He found it. Nice Gurus he's running, by the way. I tend to run the full arts, but I like the Gurus as well. They're pretty lands. All right, City of Traders. A Tangle of Wire. Just counterspell it? I think I let that happen if I'm Shug. I could be wrong on that, though. I think Booze is bait in there. That was a bait. Maybe he just has all of the counter magic, though. If you get a Planeswalker down, like I don't think Booze can do much about it other than play his own. He's going to be loath to play a land here. So he doesn't have the fixing he needs. You draw here, I think. Yep. Probably take the 2 lands. If it's fetch land and Revolutionary Rebuff, you take that for sure. Okay. All right, our match has started, so I'm going to stop watching this one. And have fun, man. Yes, I'd love to play first. This hand is kind of slow, but on the play, yeah, we're going to keep this. So we have the Wasteland, which is nice. Sensei is going down on cards a little bit, but he is on the draw, so we'll play this out and say go. Probably has removal for the Servant. Maybe we do Wasteland in turn 1, so he went down to 6. Or turn 2, rather, for us. Let's see what we draw. If we drew a Mana Dork, that'd be a pretty ideal draw, I think, depending on what he does. Because then we could play the Mana Dork and stay on curve. Okay, it's this thing. I'm going to leave that. Because what I would prefer to do, I think, is hit that with Garruk next turn. That may be greedy, but like getting the Garruk flip seems good to me. Don't need any more lands out of the deck, so maybe that was a reason to play the Bloodstained Mire, but if I draw Tireless Tracker or the Courser, I'm going to want to have that fetch, I think. So I can manipulate top deck and or just draw card advantage or develop card advantage. Never really looked at the art on Servant of the Conduit. It actually does have pretty cool art on it. Pretty sweet looking card. Well, if he kills this thing, then we just Wasteland him. If he does not, we blow up his Dryad Arbor, and then Wasteland him on the following turn. I guess his system's running a little slow today. He did discount, so maybe he's just having connectivity issues. Or he had to run. He does have a young child in his house, so he may have had to go do something for his baby. Who knows? Rob Zadar will win that. And this, I don't know. ML might win that, actually, against Pure White Weenie. This one, I think, is going to be the most interesting game of these. I think it is the most contested. I think there's a lot of interesting interplay, mostly because of the variance of both decks and the cards that can miss. Someone won that game. I assume it was Shug because I think he got advantaged. The other thing about Shug is actually, you know what? Shug will win this game. Actually, maybe it's not that Shug. I forgot. Like, he does have blue for all the counter magic, and like, Goose Mongoose is just playing like big haymaker cards. Okay, so this hits. We get the energy, and the turn passes. And go ahead. If he kills the Servant, yeah, I will Wasteland him. Not the Dryad Arbor, though. I want to leave that thing because I can remove it. That means he's on a land light draw, I think. Maybe he's land heavy. I don't know. You lead on that thing because maybe you want me to remove it? Not quite sure. Not quite sure, guys. If he just plays another creature... Boy, maybe he had to go, guys. I don't know. I know he has a young child. And all right. So if we were to board this, I think this comes in. This probably comes out. Um, even Mind Sensor probably stays out. I like Lingering Souls a significant bit. I like both the swords a bit. Chandra's a little slow, and I think I want miners in this matchup. And we'll submit this. I think this is fine. If he missed on land, maybe he just didn't have. He was off it. I don't know. So let's go check this game out. See what's going on. Winter Orb. Well, it's certainly good against counter spells. If you have a spell snare, you definitely. Oh, he's got something. Spell snare. I'm sorry. Not. What did I call it? Spell piercer, spell snare did it there. Yeah, that was a good grab with spell snare. That's why you play that card. People like doubt that card. Like, oh, it's too narrow. No, that card's great. That card is phenomenal. It's good in a 100 card too, because I mean, folks are still following curves. If Boo's base his hand around the power of that card against a blue-based strategy, he may get blown out here. Shug is either looking for gas or answers. I'm sorry, gas, which would be answers for him, and or mana. Let's see either. Here's his turn to really resolve a Haymaker, if he has one, but I don't think his deck resolves Haymakers early, which is his problem, because that's going to be a problem for him. So Shug is going to have, I don't like blowing up lands here. I don't think you need to. Like, I think he's going to have plenty of mana. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Well, I don't know if Rob and I are going to play this game out or not. I know he's been had a tough time making all the games. Um, well, there's a thought vessel. That's ramp. Oh, what's going on, son? Well, she's won her other round, it sounds like. All right, I think our game is up. So let's go ahead and X this one out. What we have here is a very keepable hand. Opponent goes to 6. Not a great lead land. That was not a bad pickup. I would like to draw some action, though, not just answers. Answers are great, but action is definitely better. But for the foreseeable future, we can answer most of his nonsense. Could be getting Lightning Helix here. Should be a shame. The hope is he doesn't really play that much relevant, or he doesn't kill my elves, because I would like just play like a Fauna Shaman, because I'd like to play out my tapped land next turn, use the Arc Trail if I need to, and then save the scrub land for later on. All right, that's fine. Well, that was a good pickup. Okay, get more land. What do you have? Little creatures are fine. That's not a little creature. That's a big one. Well, solid pickup there. I could leave up the scrubland, but I think now with Shriekmaw available on the following turn, I'm going to be fine. But like I said, I do need to draw like something that just like wins the game fast. Like a Planeswalker would be very nice here. I have tons and tons of answers. And Shriekmaw is a clock in and of itself, and so is Hissing Quagmire, but we're still at a point in the game where like a solid Planeswalker could just win him the game out of nowhere, kind of. You know, we're not really doing a ton of damage. We're just doing plinking it for 1 a turn. So I'll play like a Garrick or something. I can deal with that because I can kill the token it makes. And okay, Flame Tongue Kavu. Killing my elves? Okay. Well, don't hit me with a Planeswalker, bro. Just play like a big dumb creature out. That one's fine. I can get behind that one. That was a solid draw, and it does give some consideration. To just going for a Tireless Tracker and getting card advantage online, but I want to do this now to get a clock on him. This thing is hard to block. Okay. That's a land I can kill. And I very well may. You draw something relevant? Okay. Ranger of Eos. Would assume getting Mother of Runes and Figure of Destiny. Again. Oh, what did you get? Just kill the figure here. And actually, this was not a bad draw at all. I can get Siege Rhino next turn and just put him on a clock right now. And this came in over Xenagos, which I'm actually happy about. I do like the Falconwrath Aristocrat. That's half his life total right there that he cannot block. And so far, so good. I am happy with this, I guess. He has a hanger back that can block my Shriekmaw. Okay, 2. Make it in there for 3. That's kind of daring, though. Actually, we just win here, don't we? Unless he kills the Falconwrath. So I'm just going to attack him with Falconwrath, I think. Do you have Swords to Plowshares is kind of the question I've got in my head. I certainly hope not. Well, get in there, you. Yep. Had the answer. It's 0 cards, though. We have 3 card types in the graveyard. We'll crank him with a Siege Rhino. Well, do you mize a land or do you mize something good? I hope you just hit a land. I feel like Celestial Purge is a pretty solid draw. Alright, you got a land. Knock some blockers out of the way. Could have activated the Hissing Quagmire, but wouldn't have been able to do all of it. And if I'm missing something here, I'm not. There's nothing he can do here. He can block the hanger back, make it 3. Good game, man. Alrighty, well, we're 2-0 up, and we'll report results, and we'll check out the rest of the matches, guys. Sensei, thanks for the match, man. I always appreciate it, man. I was kind of glad I got to face you because, I don't know. I don't feel like playing against aggro right now. It's just, I don't know. I feel like the wins are either prosaic or the losses are prosaic. I'm just like overly trite about the whole thing, but yeah, I just, I don't feel like playing that today. Some days I do. Last week I was on red deck wins. I just feel like it's too top deck driven. What is going on here? Oh, the game is catching up, or it's breaking. Maze of Ith is not a good one in this matchup. All right, well, back to basics. But Shug's on 9 life, and there is a Sarkin in play? That's not good. That's not good. This is the problem with decks that can't win fast, though. Like, you have, like, nonsense like Stranglehold and, like, Sarkin beating you. You just don't do anything. Yuck. You have, like, a True Name Nemesis or something? Rolling Earthquake. All right, that's better. All right. Now this feels a little more manageable. What is this from? Pact of the Titan? Huh. Interesting. I guess it makes a token, so you can polymorph it. He gets to draw a lot of cards, and he has to discard his hand at the end of the turn. Alright, well, Signet. It is a Wildfire deck. I guess you could Scroll Rack and look for a land. Yep, Scroll Rack and look for a land. I'm going to see the same nonsense next turn, though, so hopefully it's something that's castable. I don't know who won the white versus red matchup. I would assume the white player. I think they're very heavily favored. Alright, well, Dust Bowl is not really great. Alright, there's Emrakul of the Aeon's Torn. And go. Now I don't really think there's many answers to this. Chaos Warp. No, Chaos Warp doesn't do it. Ensnaring Bridge. Ensnaring Bridge would be sweet. That could very slowly win, but like, what are you going to do here? Like, what do you do against this? Wildfire? That's junk. Worm Coil Engine. Still not that great. It's 7 life though, so he doesn't have to be leery. Snap. Oh. You untap your 2 non-basics here. Okay. Should got him. Got him with the Emrakul and snap. Alright, cool. I don't know. Those games with like big haymakers are just kind of silly to me. I kind of like the mid-range fight that Sensei and I had, where it's like the cards are all kind of smaller and they're incremental, grindy. I don't know. Those are more fun matchups for me because I think there's more thought in them. I mean, that's just big haymaker swings every turn. I guess those are entertaining too. All right, well they're in boards. I guess we'll go on a quick pause while they're in boards, guys. I'll grab a drink of water. All right, guys, we're back at it. Golden on the play here. ML notably down on clock. I assume they're on a game 2 or 3. Don't know, though. Do not know. So we'll see. Yeah, what do we got here? Nothing on turn 2. Well, if I'm ML Berlin on like a 20% to 30% Wrath deck, I'm feeling very good about not having to see anything on turn 2. But then I'm also thinking, what does he have? Oh no. That must have been a very greedy keep. Maybe he has Mana Tithe in hand, and he really wants to get value out of it. ML is not likely to play around it. This feels like a Liliana. No, it's not. Nothing. Just go. Yeah, he could be playing around the Mana Tithe. I was gonna say if he dropped another Black Source, I was pretty sure he'd probably have like one of the 2 Lilianas. And for some reason, my intuition says the newer one. Dust Bowl is a strong draw. As is Bygone Bishop. That's a way to get out of kind of a rut because I think he's out of land. If you have Vindicate, you probably Vindicate the Dust Bowl. I don't like leaving Bygone Bishop around, though. That card is just going to make a lot more cards and find him more lands and allow him to Dust Bowl more. I think it's just a trap to leave that thing on the board. I think if you have removal, you get rid of it. Well, that's actually not that good. It's fine, but it's not going to make a token. It does recur as creatures. You can never lock it up. I assume we finally see a Planeswalker here. Noting the Bygone Bishop, if equipped, is essentially a 4/5. The new Sarkhan can only make 4/4 dragons, I think, so that doesn't block it out. We're going to see... Oh, Keranos. Well, Keranos draws a lot of cards and removes weenies. I don't... Yeah, actually, Keranos is going to be helpful here. And it doesn't... Golden Lens life total really doesn't matter. Taking a hit of 4 is fine, I think. Especially because he hasn't destroyed anything yet. And this will urge him to equip the sword as opposed to playing more threats, I think. He doesn't want to have his Bygone Bishop just get mised out by the Keranos. Both players are on a very high land count. This is a very odd... This matchup is played out very oddly. In my opinion. And it's difficult. I mean, at this point, I think ML is favored. His mana is working. He has a card engine. Dust Bowl will not keep up with his card engine. And he's fixed. His mana is fixed. I think Dust Bowl is not, you don't want it this early. Okay. Well, that at least solves that problem. Kraken for another 2. See, it's a very reactionary hand. I don't like Banishing Light in White Weenie. I think if you're going to play White Removal at the 3 spot, the only one that I could feasibly get behind is Council's Judgment. I don't really get behind Banishing Light No Ring in that style of deck. I have historically used Banisher Priest, but I stopped using that as well because I don't think it's very good. I think it just leads to a lot of blowouts. Although with main deck Containment Priest, maybe it is worth consideration because trying to blow them up doesn't really yield the result that's expected. Or rather, it forces removal of the Containment Priest beforehand. This feels like a Sorin Grim Nemesis or something like that. No, just a Burst Lightning. Okay. Well, that's good to get rid of. So that wasn't a bad pickup for him. That way he's not gaining card advantage, and he can stay stuck on his 3 lands and 7-card hand that evidently cannot cast creature cards, which is funny to me. His best draw is probably Flagstones of Troikir, or land and have Armageddon in hand. Then it's just game over, right? Probably. Probably is. ML's in the phase of the game where he really needs to get a threat down. Okay, well, he has his first target he can get back with that. But if he has like a Gideon or something like that, he can just force blocks. The big Gideon, that is, not the small one. That one just dies to this now because of the sword. You gotta have something worth casting in your hand. On that, like, your mana is perfect. Like, you could basically cast half of Progenitus right now. All right, Nature's Lore, not really action, more land. He's really setting himself up for a bad Armageddon turn if he doesn't get a threat down, though. All right, Batterskull's a fine one, but it can't block this thing. Yeah, it can't block. Because it is black. The Germ token is black. Huh. Germs are a funny mechanic. There's not a lot of cards that make them, though. I think, like, Pheresis is one of them. Batterskull, obviously. Bone Horde, and I believe Mortarpod are the ones that come to mind. Mortarpod and Batterskull probably being the best of those. Pheresis being not printed in that cycle. I believe that's Phyrexia or New Phyrexia or something like that. Yeah. That's an interesting card to run main. Maybe he runs it board and just decided to bring it in. Is that any black permanent? Or is that a black creature? That's pretty good, actually. That's actually probably not a bad call. Alright, well, I found a way to kill the Batterskull. Pretty cool. Took a lot of cards up, though. So Pithing Needle, I guess, was another rationale for keeping his hand. Plus, the Banishing Light was good against Planeswalkers. So maybe ML has played this correctly. Maybe he correctly assessed his board. I don't know. So now what does he need? Like a Chandra would do it. Although he probably wants to get the Bygone Bishop as well. And 13 life, so he's got a little bit of time. At this point, I think he needs to pressure him, though. He needs to either Wrath or pressure. So Batterskull is stranded. Well, Mystifying Maze, I guess deals. I guess maybe he wants to get maximum value out of his Wrath. So he only has 3 cards in hand to 6. I mean, he could just Dust Bowl him here and just bang in there for 5. That's one thing I don't like about this line. I guess Mystifying Maze is kind of nice against equipment as well. Alright, that sword. Well, you definitely take the hit from whatever's equipped with the Sword of Light, or you take the hit from the Sword of Light and Shadow, not the Sword of Fire and Ice. It, Oh, Volcanic Fallout. Cool. Well, that's getting exiled when it attacks. I mean, I wouldn't even bother. That's actually a bad play because it's gonna cost him to have to re-equip. Yeah, you don't want to attack here because it's just gonna force a re-equip and get mystified. Actually, Mystifying Maze is pretty good against Figure of Destiny. Takes off all of its um, they're not really levels. I don't know what to call them. Charges, levels. I don't know. I don't know what you call them. I'm ignorant to what such things are called. Well, Mystifying Maze does force Golden Wind to commit more to the board at this point. So I don't think ML's in a bad spot, but he also needs to follow this up. Like, probably now. Could just be Abrupt Decay or Maelstrom Pulse. Pernicious Deed. It's actually very strong. Because it allows him to actually get back his Keranos. So he's going to do it for 3. And you wait to see if the opponent plays anything. Unfortunately, he can't do it and leave up Mystifying Maze. So, well, I guess Golden really can't equip here. So if he attacks, you let him put his mana into this thing and then blow up the Pern Deed for 3. He's got land. So what's the worst here? Geddon plus creature follow-up? But, like, he really can't creature follow-up because there's Pern Deed on the board. I do kind of like this game. This game is interesting to me. If the Keranos comes back, I think ML is highly favored. What do you blow up here? He's going to blow up a land? Yeah, he's going to blow up a land. All right. I think that's fine. I think you just tap it for mana. Wait for him to equip. Are you going to equip or no? Are you going to play a creature card? Perndeed's going to get him back the Keranos and get rid of all this protection, plus make Batterskull a thing. And even return it this turn and get it back the following turn. Yeah, this game looks over to me. Although ML does need to play a little faster. I don't know if he won the first game or not. Equip and blow up the board. Shouldn't be a lot of thought here. Just blow it up and return the skull and get back Keranos and draw an extra card or do a bunch of damage. Not a bunch, but 3. So lightning bolt damage. And that's the whole enchilada of his board. So Keranos is back in play, and he lost all of his permanents. Yeah, Permdeed was pretty good there. I like Permdeed a lot. I play it in a couple of my decks. It's very specific to certain types of decks, though. I play it in a Sultai deck, which I like it very much so there. It's a very much lower creature count. It has efficient creatures, but much lower count. Um, and it actually gets mana lands. What did he find with that? A land, okay. So I presume we know his hand is. Probably shouldn't have played that out. Probably should have played the other land just so he could conceal information here. But yeah, Keranos is kind of doing what we expected. So he blew up a land, but lost a land. Geddon is obviously not good any longer. I can't think of a 1 mana or 2 mana follow up that really beats a Batterskull. I guess. Well, actually, correction, I can, but not with a Keranos in play. So his strongest draw, I don't even know. Like if he went Leonin Relic Warder on the Keranos, and then some way to trap the skull. I don't know how you could do that though. He's gonna get a clue here, but I think if ML hits, there's a Seer Avenger. It's a good card, but ML, if he's sharp on this, I think will, if he hits a lightning bolt or any non-land card with the Keranos, will bolt the Bygone. All right, drew a card. Hope you definitely get in there. It's essentially a 1-point exchange every time, but he is getting a chance to draw more cards out of his Bygone. which I should really consider that card for my my Death and Taxes deck. It's a flyer at least, which means, excuse me, it's a little better against Green X decks. And also just is an engine card. Hmm. Well, I feel like ML does have inevitability here, though. Archetype of Courage. A fine card. Means that he can't attack in with the Batter Skull. But I don't really think that ML intends on doing that. I don't think he intends on winning this game with Batter Skull. I think Batter Skull is just a stopgap until he can hit Planeswalker threats. Or Wraths. You should probably attack with the Bygone as well. I guess you don't have to, but like you really, I think you have to actually, because like you don't. He's drawing 2 a turn. His deck does infinitely more powerful things, and is completely set up to exploit all of them. All right, drawing a clue. Cool. 1 drop? No. All right, timely reinforcements. Blowing up likely the Bygone Bishop. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Gaining some life and getting some creature cards. Yeah, I feel like if ML gets on his horse, this is likely well in hand. I don't know how much. If he has to play a game 3, then he's probably in trouble here. He needs to play a little quicker. All right, timely. Yep. Very cool card. Strong in this deck. It like runs like I don't think it runs. I think it runs 1 creature. I think it runs like a Magister of Worth, a Wrath Angel. Otherwise, I think it has 0. Well, technically, I guess Keranos is a creature card, but really, it's not how it's being used in the deck. This is an enchantment and creature, right? Yeah. Technically, it's an enchantment right now, right? Yeah. So we can get him for 3 again. But if I'm Golden Lyn, I don't know how hopeful I feel about this strategy. Both of his swords have been blown up. I assume he took the black-green one out. All right, all right. That's actually not a bad one. That one gets huge at least. He can't block this, so it becomes a 6/6. Crack in there for 6. Sublime Archangel is actually a very cool card. I've just never found room for it. It is actually very inexpensive, and it has a very cool effect. I'm trying to remember the card it competed with. It was like some demon in that series. I think that was M10 or 12. Let's pull up the preview window. I'm trying to remember, I drafted a bunch of it too. M13 actually, yeah. This is the one before 14, I think, or 15 was the one with like Convoke came back. Yeah, this card competed with, I believe, a 6-drop demon that like forced it was head exalted, and like whenever it attacked alone, like the opponent had to sacrifice a creature. I think. Forget the name of the card. I still see this card in Legacy Cube. I don't know if it's in Vintage Cube or not. For the White Weenie archetype, I don't really care for it as much in that because it's just slow. There's a lot better 4-drops. Like I think the Hero Blade Hold's probably better. Well, I guess you stop the Batter Skull with that, but like I don't know if you want to extend here. I think he's just gonna wrap the board when he draws it. Obviously he's hoping to hit a Wrath here, I think. But if he doesn't, he can just if he hits a non-land card, he can blow up the Angel, which is probably needs to happen here. Yeah, Batter Skull. Well, they'll have first strike, and he can attack. Oh, Wrath of God. Well, that's game. You know, like you blow up the Angel, blow up the board. Okay, you're just gonna damage his face. Actually, that's a far better play. I guess you have to blow up the Angel. Just blow up the board. Replay the skull. Can you? Actually, he can. He can exactly replay the skull. I don't know why you'd attack here. I mean, like everything just dies. Like, right? You may get him 1 damage. No, it has first. Everything has first strike, so it's just like, all right, cool, cool attack, bro. Does nothing. Batterskull's actually been shockingly bad against these weenie creatures, which is pretty cool. I like weenie archetype. I like it better than Redneck Winds. I do appreciate it more. All right, Wrath. Boom goes the dynamite. Everything dies. Flip Batterskull to hand and replay it. Interesting. Maybe he has counter magic. But I think you just play the Batterskull and close the game out. So you're not wasting more time. I guess Golden Lyn is lower on clock than he is, though. But Kyranos is the problem here. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get some tunage. All right, well, there's a Winter Orb. Humility. Humility actually stops the Silver Knight. He would obviously need a another white land to do that, but he has Batterskull. Just play it, jam it, win the game. Tap land not looking so hot against a Winter Orb, but I don't think it really matters here. This game is ended. I guess he could have, like, a way to remove the germ, but the Kyranos just kills upon a spell being hit. Yuck, 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 yuck. Okay, and that gets a land. I guess they're both first strikers, so they can take out the germ together, but if he hits any non-land card, then the game's over, right? Yeah. Okay, Swords to Plowshares was hit. Game over. So that match? That may be match. Yep, that's match. Alrighty, guys. We're going to go ahead and cut this for a second and go on a pause, and we'll be right back with the last round. Alright, guys, we're back, and we're playing against Rob here in the finals. It appears it'll be White Weenie versus 4CBlood. Mull. This hand is better. Huh. This hand's better. And I had consideration to turn one Inquisitioning, but I think instead what we're going to do is just put this little gal down and play that Courser on the next turn. And if we ever get another red source, I think Chandra will be good against him. Nothing. Okay. Could have the Swords to Plowshares for my thing. Okay, Smuggler's a Copter. Good rip off top. That's Chandra mana. Although we do want to get white at some point in time, so I think Smiter is going to be great here. What have you got? Let's get rid of the life gain. Well, what do you ditch? Plains, okay. Okay, Lifelinker. You get in there for 5. Let's count here. So this is very close to lethal. Let's see what the opponent does here. Well, we're not really happy to be drawing the Woodland Cemetery next turn. We can bang in there for 6. Okay, White Knight. I assume he sends Soltari at the Chandra and Smuggler's Copter at face. All face. Well, are we just dead? I suppose we are. Because that is only 6. Do we miss a point in there somewhere? Could have. And we'll concede there. Got us? Barely. So, what do we bring in? Bring in our removal packages for sure. So, Dread of Night is good. Deathmark is good. I think Fire Covenant is good. Take out Mind Sensor. I think I still like the Lingering Souls. Also, don't think I need Nissa. And don't think I need Chandra. I think I just want to go into a small battle. Let's try this out. See how it does. So he got us in that first game. Maybe we missed a point somewhere. I don't know. Or maybe we took too much damage off lands. Yeah, if we had like 1 less damage, we could have won that game. And it probably, we took 4 damage off of lands that game. Although we were gaining a bunch off the Courser. Maybe that was too greedy. But I think we were right to do it. Like, we need to get the Lifelinker off the board. That card wins so many games that they should not win, though. And when I say that card, I mean Smuggler's Copter. For White Weenie, that card is just a bomb. And it won him the game there. No doubts about that. I'm going to try this out. I don't think it's great. I'm going to get Stomping Ground, I think. Oh, I can't with this. Maybe I don't. Maybe I get Sacred Foundry. No, it's greedy. Play a Bitter Blossom out. It's going to do a significant amount of damage to us, but we have the Dromoka's Command to kind of come back from that. Fight something possibly. Fight something that's actually a card as opposed to Bitter Boss, and then we can destroy it with our own Dromoka's Command if we wanted to. Okay. Well, I don't want to draw any more lands. This is going to get Bayou, more than likely. Although actually Taiga may have been better. Value's fine. The cool thing about fighting is that it actually we'll just fight here and lose our card. I don't mind for Thalia. Because I do want to get this Garrick online next turn. Well, Thalia to Thalia is a very strong start. Opponent may just run us over. All right, White Knight. Cool. Whip Quarter. All right, Dust Bowl. All right, Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares, I would assume. Oblivion Ring. Aether Vial is fine. Actually, I like seeing that. So that's the first crap draw I've seen him have. It will allow him to free up his Dust Bowl, though. Red land off top would be very nice. Vindicate's not poor. All right, tap my ooze. Yep, I will block your Thalia. Okay. Okay, Ication Javelineers. You want to Dust Bowl me? I think you probably want to. The question becomes, what do I blow up here? It may just be the Whipcorder. Okay. Oh no, Moto just broke, I think. Well, hey guys, I'm gonna have to go on a pause here. Looks like Moto is breaking horrifically. Alright, so I can't block the Thalia this next turn, which can kill my Garuk. So this prevent 2, prevents the 2 off that. This does 1. Let's see what our next draw step is. I really don't want it to be land, so I'm going to put this into play. That doesn't work. It's fine. All right, land. What else have you got? This Thalia is so annoying. One of the rougher cards to play against. Maybe I should have left the first one because of that reason. Kill my ooze here. I think that's fine. Wants to kill Courser more. Interesting. So he wants to lock me out of the game. Oh, wow. Did he get some blowout card that pumps this thing? Oh, goodness, guys. Oh, the beats are real. Rough beats. I guess the good news is I can pump my Courser again. Yep, you got it. And I don't get a land blown up this turn. That's rough. Alright, so what are our outs to this nonsense? One, he needs to miss a little bit. That's fine. +1/+1 to something. And gains vigilance. Okay, so that thing. I mean, I'll block with a fairy rogue. Okay. Well, that was a cool draw. He may just blow that one up. I don't know. Solitari Monk. Well, the best draw in the deck is definitely Dread of Night. Ooh, bad choice. I like seeing that. Here we'll get Blood Crypt. And we can, well, we're not going to have 6 here, just in case he has a destroy spell for the vampire. So we have to keep in mind we can heal ourselves here because we have the noble or the aristocrat rather. Come on, Moto. All right, Mishra's Factory. And blow up a land. Cool. So now we actually want the green lands because I want to get ooze big and gain life. It's really the operative part of this process, I think. Come on, Moto. Speed up a little bit. Guys, I may have to go on a pause because I need to play faster here. Well, we got there. Yep. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break, grab a drink of water, and get my head straight for this last game. All right, guys, we're back. Actually, we made an error in boarding process. We took out the Lingering Souls and put in the Forked Bolt. I think Forked Bolt's going to be much more appreciated in this matchup than Lingering Souls will be. That was a grinder, by the way. That was a nail biter. I got quiet there near the end. I was like, I don't even know if I can win this, but we did manage to find the fixing. He made a crucial error in and not blowing up our fixing. He's blowing up our white-green for some reason. I guess he was worried about like maybe an Elspeth or something, jumping over the top. Come on, 4-color blood. Well, let's see here. I don't mind if he buys some time back. We definitely took a long time that last game. Some of it's a little bit of lag too, but some of it was definitely thinking through some lines of play. You may see us talk a little bit less this game, or we may die just horribly fast. Depends on his draw. Kind of hoping for the Dread of Night one time, and I hope it's good. Hope it doesn't have like 2 toughness things. Nope, Rob's disconnected, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pause until he comes back in. Well, hey guys, I didn't catch the end of that game. We won it in pretty unspectacular fashion. Our opponent timed out, and then we just wrecked them. It was kind of depressing. He wants to play now. All right, I guess we're gonna continue this video then. Even though we won the tournament. I didn't show the last match because it was a joke. He ended up getting back in around 1:30. Left on the clock, and yeah, it was just kind of bad. All right, so we're playing. This is actually a hard matchup for us. I think it can be. If he locks my mana up, I'm gonna lose. We got good mana though. Yeah, I don't think that Wildfire deck was good. I think it needs to be played in a very specific meta, which I don't know what that meta is. I don't think Scred Red's viable in this format, to be honest. I'll play this out. We may run this Sylvan Caryatid into a counterspell. If we do, oh well. Our game is going to be to set up this Tireless Tracker. If we can get it to resolve and play Fetch Land, that is stellar. I think I just jam here. I mean, if I get back to basics turn 3, I lose the game. 100%. Just lose on the spot. Then again, he's going to lock down one of his lands, but like I just lose. All right, so that resolves. That's pretty sweet. All right, red, Blood Moon or something like that. Something obnoxious. All right, that's fine. Well, I don't think you have a counter then, because like I think you counter my mana dorks, because part of his engine is mana denial. So I think I'm just going to jam. Do you have counter magic? No. I'm not going to put the land into play tapped. So what do I get here? I get the Taiga because I guess that's kind of bad because I already have Stomping Ground. But I really do want to cast the Bloodbraid next turn, and I want to Wasteland him next turn. Well, I know you got something. Yeah, ML did bring the cheese. That's true. That was cheesy. I think that deck is so cheesy. I love it. I think it's still cool. It's just like all Planeswalkers and Wraths. I think it is good against Weenie. I think it's pretty good against aggro. Not red aggro. White aggro it's good against, though. Yep, there it is. I'm going to play this out. Because I can trap him on mana, too. And now it becomes the hunt for mana. Turn off auto yields just in case he has like fire ice. All right, he's waiting on that. Okay. Well, it could be the right answer here. So I don't know why he like, why do that? He's a horrendous luck sack. He has always managed to find back to basics in the first like 10 cards against me. And this card is the hardest to beat. Blood Moon is easier to beat than this is, because I have to be conscientious of each card or each land I tap. Obviously, in retrospect, Taiga would have been much better served as a forest, but Scalding Tarn could have gotten that anyways. Okay, land. What do you have, like a Wrath of some sort? Okay. If he has, like, Slagstorm, that's a bad beat. Do you have Slagstorm, my friend? No. What is a Doran? I think we just go hunting for land here. Bolt doesn't do it here, my friend. I will outgrow this thing from bolt range. That's what he does. I'm kind of all in on it. That's fine. Okay. Why don't you just do it in my face, though? Do you have, like... No, if you had... I don't know what he could have here, to be honest with you. Alright. Well, Ancestral Visions is coming off. If he gets Jace the Mind Sculptor off this turn, what do we do? Probably just go for Bloodbraid. Is he dead next turn? It's close. Very close. Up to 9 cards. Probably discarding this turn. But maybe not. Serum Visions is fine. I don't think I just go for the Bloodbraid here. I mean, it's enticing. Well, actually, no, you know what? Well, no. No, I don't. I don't. Because I have to tap 3 lands. I need my mana very badly. These Slag Storms here. Alright, Vidalcan Shackles does nothing. Right? Well, Nissa is very interesting. But I don't think in our wheelhouse right now. So I think we are committed to plussing this right now, and it's going to be on this. Because if he draws... Oh, wait, no, never remember my mind. No, that's not right. I'm sorry. That's based off islands. So what's he going to grab? The answer is probably nothing. No. Let's... I think here what we do is just we get one of these. I'll tap 1 land for it. Alright, Gideon is punishing. Because Gideon is probably unbeatable by his deck, but I really do want this Tireless Tracker out of burn range. He could find a control magic effect. We're very close. If he gains control of it, and we hit a land, we can Bloodbraid. I don't know, it feels dicey. He can just bounce it if he finds an island. His mana is not working well for him right now, though. That's one of the problems with 2-color, especially if you're running back to basics, is sometimes you just get these weird draws where like your mana's not fixed. I don't think that's what we're going to see happen here. Yeah, no, I wasn't going to run a creature out, man. I considered it for a moment. If I had an untap, I may, because that would force him to tap out to burn them out, and then I would just... All right, Choke, get in there. A Boil, get in there. These guys, no. Duress, yes. Golgari Charm, I think yes. And Reclamation Sage, I think yes. What do we cut? Lingering Soul seems kind of anemic. Even Mind Sensor doesn't seem that great. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem great. Chandra seems... if we get it down, it wins. Arc Trail seems kind of blah in this matchup. I do want the draw engines up here, or the draw and the damage / card advantage engines right there. What don't I like? Maybe Nissa comes out. She untaps land though. Yeah, she's too big. He's gonna be countering all my junk. I like Marchesa as well. I do actually want these swords and paths because so his path to victory with this deck, and I think you saw it, is he gets Emrakul. So we need to interact with his creatures before he's capable of doing that. What else do we want to cut though? We're gonna be on the draw here, so maybe we cut like Sandstep Citadel because it's just bad. But now 35 lands is not right. This deck is like running as lean as it can. Maybe a 3-drop. And which 3-drop would we cut if we had to cut one? Probably this sword. It's a 5-drop, and I don't want more of those. Shriekmaw is actually pretty bad too. Maybe we put Nissa back in. Yeah, well, it's already submitted. But I think if we go back to boards, if we win this next one, or if we don't win this next one, I think we'd rather have Nissa than Shriekmaw. Hand's good. Hand's not bad. We'll lead off with the Windswept Heath to avoid Wasteland. And, well, and maybe we just get, I mean, Bayou is the enticing one, right? Because it puts us very close to casting either Doran or Maelstrom Pulse, and also fixes for Tasigur. But Forest may just be right. I don't think that's right, but, well, we're going to get to draw, so we'll see. Sorry, guys, I'll talk a bit. I'm trying to plot this out. All right, well, he's going low on cards, so this may be not a game. Going to 5. This hand, I think, can beat a 5. Okay. Land would be nice. No. Well, all right. The greed is real. That draw right there, unless I get Wasteland, or not Wasteland, Stifle here, which we may. All right, he didn't fetch in response. I don't think you keep a Stifle on 5. What have you got? Okie doke. Blood Moon, Memory Lapse, a bunch of stuff I really don't care about all that much. Get rid of the Blood Moon. Can't deal with it at instant speed because, believe it or not, this hand will act pretty quickly. Not the draw I wanted, but the draw I got. Come on, Moto. Moto is laggy today. Yeah, I'd definitely rather have a land there. Because I'm not going to have a land next turn, so I'm just going to be recasting this thing. But I know the Blood Moon's gone. So, I mean, you can, yeah, you're going to memory lapse this, and I'm going to have to let you. Maybe I don't. Maybe I just go for the land next turn. But then I'm playing Doran into it, and I'm like redrawing a Doran. Like, it's still not good. Okay, I am memory lapsed. I am successfully memory lapsed here. And I'll replay it next turn. If he counters it, he counters it, and that's fine with me. If he plays a land, we knew he drew it. If he does not, then he may have a counter spell for the Goyf. Okay, he drew land, but he did not cycle, so we know Goyf is resolving. I believe we do, yeah, because he has that crappy... Actually, no, he has one unknown in hand. He has that crappy, like, 4/4 card. Goyf is huge. You have a counter for it? If he goes counter into back to basics, we'll probably lose. His 4/4 cannot beat this thing, though. All right, lands. It's a good draw right there. I mean, I would have rather had it be a land, so like my Doran just comes into play and just like ends this game extremely fast. But now we're live to any I think we leave open the. I mean, it's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other. Like if we leave open the black, we have Golgari Charm and Abrupt Decay for back to basics. If we leave open the white, we have Dramoka's Command Kasali Pride Mage open. So either guess is right. All right, he snaps here. Fine by me. That's a waste of a card. He can Titan here if he likes. Snap is a curious card to me. I don't very much so like it. Do we play out the Goyf or the Doran? Get the Plateau. Or do we just go for broke and play out the Bloodbraid Elf? I am going to play out the Doran. Oops. If you have a counter, go ahead and counter it. This thing still beats your 4/4. Goyf leaves up the most options for next turn. Because actually, if this gets countered, we could actually cast the Tasigur and the Goyf next turn. Okay, false summoning. Well, comes into play tapped at this point, obviously. So I think we show him the card he already knows about, see if he wants to counter it. Because Tasigur's obviously a better card. He has a mana-based way of removing this. Well, that stinks. If he just draws back to basics, he's still dying, because this is... We do shrink our Goyf a bit, but hey, what are you going to do? I'd rather have 7 power than 5 power on the board. Well, I guess 8 if you include the elf. Either way, half of his life total each turn. And then we have Sword up for next turn. Kind of cool getting to play a marathon match here. We get to play 4 rounds as opposed to what I would really call 2.5. Well, actually, let's think this through. Is Bloodbraid better? No, it's not. We'll put Sword of Fire and Ice on Tasigur because he could have like Char or like, I don't know, some instant speed way of like dealing with the T-Goyf. If he counters this, it's going to grow the T-Goyf. That's, I mean, okay, is it Charm? And actually, I think we allow that to be countered. Nope, because what I'd rather do is put this card into play. And the reason being is because this is a 2-turn clock as opposed to a 3-turn clock at this point. So we did tap the elf, which I do not think was wrong. I think that was actually right because we want to play around his non-basic hate. But well, actually, never mind. No. Because he countered the sword, it makes the Goyf a 4/5. So I guess it is still a 2-turn clock. But Deathright's still good. Hey, why not? We don't care about value here. Good games, man. Good games. I tend to believe that. I think you back up a fast clock with disruption, and it tends to be better than combos. Played an interesting game today against a Legacy Belcher deck, and the deck just essentially conceded to No Rod or Ancient Grudge or Force of Will for that matter. So the deck just I was on, I believe, Canadian Threshold playing in that event, and yeah, our deck did very well against that deck because we have, Stifles, we have Dazes, we have, Force of Wills, we have Wastelands for like the one land they play in the deck. And then we have No Rod on the board and Ancient Grudge. And it's just, and you have a narrow deck like that, if someone is prepared for it or understands what that path to victory is, like they will tend to have a leg up on you because they can just disrupt it because you don't have other options. Um, they tend to be very linear in how they play out, much like aggro decks. That's kind of why, I, I enjoy aggro every once in a while. I think aggro has its time and place, and definitely it can break open metas, and certain formats are more suited to it just based upon the available card pool. But when playing, I think 100 card singleton in a lot of formats, I mean, like they say, all formats converge in the mid range, and you kind of saw the power of 4-color blood today in doing that. So this again is the deck list. There have been some minor revisions. I don't believe Fire Covenant was in last time. I've added that to the board for the weenie matchup, so I think it's good there. Believe I've also added Golgari Charm to board, taking it out of main. I like it for the red deck wins matchup. I also don't mind it for the white weenie matchup, and or like matchups where I know like they have humility or moat in deck. Although moat's not per se a problem card, and really neither is humility because there's so many planeswalkers. If we resolve one, it'll win the game for us. But because we want other ways, we want spell-based ways to deal with enchantments. And it also just randomly does regenerate our team against wrath decks, and it randomly kills weenies. So this was the deck. Big main deck change was we took on Xenagos and ended up putting in this card right here, Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, which I've kind of been on the verge about, and from talking to other people, I kind of consider it underwhelming. I think it actually performed very well today. It definitely did win us one game against our white weenie opponent, Rob Zadar, Dr. Rob, in the last round. It plus really Bitter Blossom, gaining incremental advantage from Bitter Blossom. But this right here was the significant clock um, that was also able to have some pretty cool synergies with the deck, such that we had Scavenging Ooze on board, and actually it was more relevant to sacrifice our own creatures to gain life to survive past our Bitter Blossom and the Shadow creature he had. Plus, the card is just fast. Like, it just, it gets in there, and if it doesn't get exiled, which it did against Sensei Rob, um, by our very random board card. I haven't seen Celestial Purge get played in board for a while. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool. It is fairly flexible. But if that didn't happen, like this thing would have killed him that turn, and we ended up killing him anyways. But I think it's just a very fast card. It's very good against planeswalkers too. Like you just drop this thing and like kill a planeswalker right away. It's a solid way of dealing with them. And I do like the fact that it's indestructible. So like against like the Wrath decks, you can just sack something else that's going to die to a Wrath anyways, and then just randomly win. Um, yeah, he's talking about another game. So this was the deck. I'll have to relook that, brother. Um, so this is the deck. A couple cards that I'm on the verge about. Servant of the Conduit. I don't know. Like I'm on the verge about it because I feel like maybe, just maybe, the new card that gives itself -1/-1 counters. It becomes a 3/4 eventually. Maybe better than it. I don't think that. I think it only fixes for green though. So maybe not. I would like to do something different than this card. This card is weird to me, but it also does beat, which is cool. It holds a sword. It can fly through the air and hit things. You know, it's not. I don't know. I'm on the verge about it. Like Utopia Tree, if it was a 2/2, would be so much better. But even if it was just a defender, I think I'd be more happy with it. But being a 0/1, I'm really not. Um, so uh, so yeah, this is the deck. It was very fun to play. A couple minor changes, and the deck did well today. Took us went first. So we played this deck twice and gone first with it both times. I think this is one of the more powerful archetypes out there. Just no blue, 4-color blood, best creatures, best planeswalkers, best fixing, and most efficient removal. Pretty much all to say about the deck. That's what it does, and it has some pretty substantial disruption as well in the form of discard. And then you have like stuff like Aven Mind Sensor as well. And I consider Loxodon Smiter kind of disruption as well. But yeah, very cool deck. Very fun to play. The fives are interesting to me right now too. This one's on the board for me. I do like Nissa a lot. She's a great clock. Shriekmaw tends to come out quite a bit, but against the creature-based matchups, just nothing really replaces it, and it also has evasion, which tends to be great. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video series, and I hope you guys come out to join us for the Chainsaw Massacre. All right, take care now.